From Careco TV, one of the longest running outdoor programs on television today. Exploring the country and the coast in search of adventures. From the mountains of the great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. This is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. This week on Americana Outdoors, we welcome our special guest, Thompson Center's Danielle Sanville, to our turkey camp in Brackettville, Texas. Danielle also invites the amazing group of ladies from the hunting industry to join her for an annual Thompson Center's Ladies Turkey Hunting.
So we're at Wade Middleton's place, right outside of Brackettville, Texas. I've been here multiple times. I love it. Just a great place to hunt. And this time we're with Jana Waller and cameraman Jimmy from Skullbound TV, Laura from Game and Fish, and also Rose from American Hunter magazine.
Everyone here is a hardcore hunter, which is really neat, and you don't always get that sometimes when you're at industry events and camps. I would say some of my male counterparts aren't as hardcore as getting up at 5 a.m. and going out and hunting, but everyone has been game on, 4:45, everyone's up, getting coffee, talking strategy before going out.
So when we got to the ranch, we went to the range, and first order of business is when you're hunting, always make sure that you're comfortable with your gun and that it's zeroed in before you get into the field. So in this situation, Wade had all of the guns that we're going to be using here on the ranch already. They did already kind of zero them in for us, but the ladies have not actually shot these Encore turkey guns before in some cases, so I wanted to make sure that we walked them through the guns, that they knew how they functioned, that they felt comfortable with them. My favorite guns in our line is the Encore platform, and that's based on its interchangeability. But we chose 20 gauges just because there's a little less recoil. Also because it's hot here in Texas, the platform is nice and light. They're easy to use. There's very few things to break on those guns, and they're just a spectacular gun. One shot really is all you need, and it really makes you concentrate on your shot a lot better. You can reload if you need to, but in most cases, you just need that one shot. Each person took their gun that they were gonna, be using, took a couple shots. We had some dead birds right there on the range, so everybody felt comfortable, and we moved on to what they were going to be using for bolt action rifles as well. So we did have some single shot Encore Pro Hunters, also compass rifles in bolt action, and then also Venture bolt action rifles. So we all picked our gun for the hog hunt as well, zeroed those in. Everybody was dead on with those as well, so we got to have a little fun with the 22s. TCR 22 was launched not that long ago, and none of these ladies had actually ever shot it. So it was a great opportunity for me to let them have a little bit of fun. So 22s are always fun. This was an opportunity to kind of break the ice, let everybody just kind of plink a little bit. I actually didn't grow up shooting or hunting, but all three of these ladies really did. They had families that, were into guns and hunting. Jana has been into conservation and hunting and does so many different things for conservation and shooting that it's actually just great to be around her and hear all the stories as well.
Well, women are the largest rising demographic, purchasing hunting licenses. And it's really fun to be a woman right now who not just who loves to hunt, but is inside the hunting industry. There are a lot of companies that are developing products for women, specifically towards women. When I started hunting, I wore my dad's one-piece camouflage. I looked like I was about to change the oil on your truck, not go hunting, 5 sizes too big. And now we've got, gear and boots and even weapons that are tailored towards women. And it's a really exciting time to be a part of it because there's just so much positive energy behind women in the outdoors.
Jana was invited to come down on a hunt here for Rios in Texas, and wherever she goes, I go because we're a two-man band. I'm always filming her, but I was like, hey, if they've got a cameraman and you want to go with the ladies, I totally understand, do your thing. And she's like, oh no, come on down, we'll film it, we'll have a great time. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I came because right now, we're having a great time.
You can find out more about TC Encore, TC Compass, and TCR22 on the Thompson Center website at tcarms.com. Well, coming up, the hunt begins. Americana Outdoors will be right back after these messages.
We know if you found one crappie, you may have found 1,000. We know the joy of getting your boots back in the mud. We know the journey can be more rewarding than the destination. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Stop by today for huge savings on the gear you need and the brands you trust. Plus free 2-day shipping at basspro.com and cabela's.com.
How do you aim a 36-yard shot with a 30-yard fixed pin at a 15-degree angle with a 7-inch holdover without moving a single pin? Easy. You get one of these. Zero, the auto-ranging digital bow sight from Garmin.
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is brought to you by Garmin Zero. Leave the guesswork behind. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Thompson Center, America's master gunmaker. And by Yamaha's proven off-road ATV and side-by-side vehicles. Welcome back to Americana Outdoors. It's the annual Thompson Center's Ladies Turkey Hunting down here in Bracketville, Texas. We start off the first day of hunting with Jana Waller and Jim Kinsey, our special guests from Skullbound TV.
I was lucky enough to go out with Jeff, our guide, who's a fantastic caller. It's interesting, it's so exciting and interesting that first morning of a hunt that you've never been there. You don't know what it's gonna look like when that sun rises and what the terrain's gonna emerge in front of your eyes as the light starts to brighten everything up. We were sitting a back row of trees. We'd had a hen out about 10 yards, a little bit to my left, and I could tell once that sun was coming up that I had a nice open enough field that where I had pretty much a 180 degree if any tom came strutting by.
Just as it's starting to crack daylight, gobble, gobble, gobble. We got one hammering from the roost. I'm like, that's a longbeard. Then another one hammers. I'm like, we're in the right place. Sun's coming up. It's starting to look really good. And Janice says, bird just pitched down. I watched him pitch down. I'm like, sweet. I can't see him. You know, I'm looking through a lot of brush. And so we're waiting. I can hear him hammering on the ground. She's got eyes on him. Our guide, Jeff's got eyes on him. I can't see him. I'm over here like, as a camera operator, I mean, our job is to find the animal, get on him, pull focus, and stay on him. I can't see anything. So half an hour, you know, goes by, and the bird starts working his way our way, and finally I start to see two hens coming right into focus. I'm like, okay, he's got to be right there somewhere close. Of course, they've been watching him for half an hour.
After we watched them all pitch down, they disappeared for a while. Just they were behind a bunch of brush and trees, and they weren't making much noise. Thought the gobbles sounded like they were coming in our direction, and sure enough, the hens started filing in. We actually had one just 4 or 5 yards off the edge of my boot, and there he was in the background, probably about 60 yards, full fan. Sun was hitting his fan. He was just strutting his stuff and parading for the ladies, and it was so fun to watch. And you know, as that time goes on, and anticipation and hoping so bad he would come in a little bit further.
Great job.
That was beautiful.
There he is. Hey, good job.
Thank you so much.
Oh, he's nice. You know, I could see his fan and just knew that he was a mature, big bird. Look at this beard. For down here is
really good beard for down here.
Yeah,
look
look at
that. Good beard for Rio. Look at the spurs on him.
Yeah, thick.
Wore off a little bit
Yeah.
nubbed.
Yeah.
And them are over an inch long, easy.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Definitely mature bird.
To see him just strutting around out here in that sun beaming down on this beautiful fan, I mean, it literally clockwork. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Got my grand slam with this beautiful Rio today here in Texas. It doesn't always happen that great. We watched this bird strut in the sun forever, and thanks to the Thompson Center, I just got my grand slam. Look at this beautiful bird.
Up next, Danielle and Laura team up. They grab the TC Encores and head out to the pop-up blind before the first light.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X2. With a compact chassis perfect for exploring tight technical terrain. An ultra-quiet and smooth 850 class twin-cylinder engine. And next-level versatility with a 600-pound dumping cargo bed. No other side-by-side delivers this level of proven off-road performance. The all-new Wolverine X2 from Yamaha.
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, has been brought to you by High Viz. See what you've been missing. Sawyer Products. Sawyer, we keep you outdoors. And by Performance Center by Smith & Wesson. Performance when it matters most. Welcome back to Americana Outdoors. We're in our Brackettville's turkey camp for the annual Thompson Center's Ladies Turkey Hunting. While Jenna Waller from Skullbound TV hunts with Jim Kinsey, Laura Kavorik from Game and Fish magazine teams up with Danielle Sandville from Thompson Center. They head out before sunlight to the pop-up blind not far from camp.
So she grabbed the gun, we grabbed Kevin, the camera guy. He was gonna do some calling for us, and Laura was actually gonna try to call in her first turkey as well. Right off of the bat, we had some action. We could hear some gobblers. We saw them a little bit, but they really never came into range for us. We did see a couple hens as well, but just the opportunity wasn't there for us at that time.
We had some toms come in probably about an hour into it, and they were on a mission strutting, and they had nothing to do with our calls. They just kind of kept cruising on by, and got to see some hogs, which was neat, and some whitetails also came in, and just got to see them walk around and interact. So no shot there. We kind of hung out for a couple hours just to see if they'd come back, called to them a couple times, no dice. And so then we kind of started moving around and running and gunning, which was really fun. And we actually came down a road and we heard some gobbles in the distance, and we kept walking and walking and kind of slowly easing our way down, and all of a sudden we heard them like probably 40, 50 yards in the brush, and we just kind of tucked up right against the grass there, and lo and behold, we called a couple times, and I was running a box call, which I am not an accomplished caller. This is probably, I'm a rookie caller, so they actually started talking back to us, which was really, really cool. There were 4 toms that crossed the road right in front of us, and we didn't have a shot. It just wasn't a good angle. They were all bunched together and didn't want to take 1 or 2 out at the same time, so just kind of waiting, and they were walking around, talking and firing off, and couldn't see them as they got kind of into the thick brush, and waited and waited and waited, and they came back across the road and they were gone. They just kept going off and firing off. So that was exciting in itself. I'm sure it was only like 5 minutes, but it felt like 40 as we were sitting there waiting for a shot for them to come back through. So that was cool. And it started just kind of heating up. And we're like, okay, we've heard gobbles, but we haven't had shot opportunities yet. So we continued to run and gun for the rest of the afternoon. Jeff came over and joined us, who's on the property, and we started kind of cruising around and calling, and just, it was so hot out that the turkeys were just not out moving in certain areas where it was much hotter brush and things like that. As we're cruising, we finally hear a gobble off in the distance, and so we're like, okay, we're gonna work down this road and we're gonna see how close we can get to him and kind of wait for him to come in. So we headed down the road, just quietly stalking in, and all of a sudden he just started gobbling probably 40 yards in the brush, just free gobble. We didn't even cue for him or anything. And we're like, oh crap, okay, time to sit down. So Jeff gestures, he's like, all right, sit down, we're just gonna tuck here. And we actually sat right in the middle of the road. So we sat there and got the stick set up, and we got all settled, and he called, and lo and behold, that turkey came. We heard him gobble and fire off once, and then he came through and he had about a narrow patch that was like a couple of feet wide, and he said, all right, when he sticks his head out through there, you get to take him. Woo!
Got him.
That was so quick.
Woo!
You know, that's part of turkey hunting. Sometimes they come in, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're henned up, and you just never know what a turkey's gonna do. But on this, we were just kind of moving around, and that's what we like to do down here, move around, get one to gobble, and that's the fun part, chasing the birds and getting them to react to you. And in South Texas, it's hard to find places. As you can see, it's really thick. You know, it's hard to move around in here and hard to get to where you can get a shot without getting them right on top of you. So we thought we'd get on the road. We might could get him coming down that road where we could see him and get some good footage. And it was probably my fault. I probably told her to shoot a little bit quick, but she only had another step or two before she wasn't gonna get a shot. And with Kevin on the camera behind her, he was a little bit different angle, and I don't know if he actually seen the bird when it come out, but it was one of them split seconds deal. You had to take the shot when you did, and hey, it worked out. It might not have been the best for the viewers to watch, but you got a turkey on the ground, and not just a turkey, but a really, really good one.
It is just a majestic bird. I mean, their feathers are beautiful. It's my first Rio. His beard was super thick, which I'm told for this area is quite rare, so that was exciting. He had some pretty good spurs on him, and I just think what a beautiful bird.
To see her get her turkey down and that smile come out, you know, my heart it was just pounding. So I was excited for her, you know, excited for the group, and to see her have a successful hunt was just spectacular.
Meanwhile, Rose Beer from the NRA's American Hunter heads out with Americana Outdoors cameraman Michael Wersig. They got into their position and set up before the turkeys come down from the roost.
We heard a ton of gobbling in the morning. Unfortunately, some did come close, but were in a bunch of brush. Couldn't get a good shot on them. So, you know, they had to walk on by, which was hard for me to see, but it happened. And then we just couldn't get any to come quite in far enough. We did try to run and gun on a few, but couldn't catch them before maybe they caught us first. The most frustrating thing about this is that you can see them clearly, but you know that you can't reach them, or you can hear them, even worse. And you can hear them get louder and louder, closer and closer, and then something changes, most likely a hen from somewhere else, and they change direction. It's like one of those moments where you're like, ah, oh, really? I think it's the thrill of the chase. I love it, and people can say that about hunting, but turkey hunting is a little bit different in that it's really like you're interacting so much with what you're hunting. So, you know, they're gobbling at you, you're talking back. It's a conversation between your quarry. So I think that's what makes it really fun.
The Thompson Center's Ladies Turkey Hunting will be right back on Americana Outdoors. Stay tuned.
Feed your need for speed. The Nitro XRT unleashes speeds up to 470 feet per second, producing 25% flatter arrow trajectory, resulting in knock-breaking accuracy and unprecedented knockdown power. The world has never seen a crossbow this fast, accurate, and compact. The Nitro XRT from 10-Point.
For those with an insatiable desire to pursue all Mother Nature has to offer, Thompson Center delivers the ultimate in versatility with the interchangeable TC Encore Pro Hunter, giving shooters over 50 configurations including handgun, rifle, shotgun, and muzzleloader. The TC Encore Pro Hunter, one gun to chase all your dreams.
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, has been brought to you by Bradley Smoker, food smoking made easy, Walker's Game Ear, protect it or lose it, and by Conquest Sense, hunting and dog training sense. Welcome back to Americana Outdoors. After Laura Kavorik from Game & Fish magazine harvested her first ever Texas Rio, Thompson Center's Danielle Sandville goes out with Americana Outdoors' Jeff Reynolds for an evening hunt.
We go to an area where Jeff was kind of not exactly sure where he wanted to sit. We were thinking with the heat that the birds might come up the road, but we weren't really 100% sure, so we kind of scouted the area quite a bit. And we decided for one place that was actually in the shade where I had a tree to kind of lay up against to be comfortable to sit there for a while, which I was very grateful for that. Jeff took out his call, his slate call, and he called a little bit, just real quiet, and we got a gobble, like lots of gobbles, and they were close. I would say maybe 30 yards or less, but we couldn't see them. In fact, they were kind of behind us. And we said, all right, well, let's get up and let's try to get out in front of them. So we get on foot and we kind of loop around and we kind of try to go through the oaks and down to the creek bottom to try to get in front of them, and nothing, sadly. So we decide we're gonna head back to the Viking, and we get to the spot where we originally were sitting down against that tree. And Jeff says, just wait here for 1 second. I'm just gonna poke my head up the hill and see if I can see anything.
One of the little bears coming down the road.
So we go, we crawl into position. He didn't even call. We sit down, I get on my sticks, the Tom is right there. And when I stood up to go after the turkey, there's 3 other Toms literally right there as well. So if I had waited 1 more minute, I think we would have been in that situation where they were all together, and I might not have had that opportunity. So this situation, I'm glad I didn't wait very long, because I might have missed out on that opportunity. Absolutely beautiful. These Rios in Texas are just beautiful. Thank you, Jeff. As always, my lucky charm. And thanks, Wade, for letting me hunt here again, as always. Just a absolutely wonderful group of people, wonderful land, and even though it's 102 degrees, we got it done. We absolutely got it done. I love hunting here, and one of the reasons is the people that are here. You know, all the camera guys, all the guides, all the folks that call for us, Angel, Wade's wife, that works, you know, does all the cooking here and everything, and then the people that we bring as well. The camaraderie, you know, hunting is one thing, but when you can hunt with some great people, it makes it that much more meaningful.
You can re-watch the episode or any other episodes at any time on AmericanaOutdoors.com. And remember, you can always find TC firearms you've seen here on the show at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Americana Outdoors. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production.
For precise prescription eyewear, Wiley X knows there's no room for error. We meticulously craft our own prescription lenses to fit our high-rack frames. And our ANSI safety-rated lenses are tested to uncompromising standards. Nothing but precise. Because precision is everything.
Want to know why the top shooting pros choose High-Vis? High-Vis has an enormous lineup of sights for every shooting platform possible that are clean looking and easy to mount. Improve your shooting with faster target acquisition and eliminate cross-sight dominance. High-Vis sights are the brightest out there, helping you find your target with ease, no matter the shooting conditions. Choose the best. Choose High-Vis and see what you've been missing.
We demand a lot from the products that we use on our adventures around the world. When it comes to keeping things seriously cold, we rely on Angle coolers, who have for over 50 years kept things cold. Angle coolers, the original high-performance cooler.
What does it take to make Evercalm deer scent? It takes a deer farmer who raises whitetails. It takes mixing the special blend of Evercalm, testing each batch.
Smells like deer.
And then pouring each container. Each container is cleaned, examined, and packaged for shipping. It takes the finest deer herd and a great team of people to make the best hunting scent available. Evercalm, from Conquest Scents.
Nobody likes crawling, creepy, or flying bugs, so ward them off with Sawyer permethrin. It's more than a repellent. This odorless spray repels and kills mosquitoes, ticks, and more than 55 other kinds of insects. Sawyer, we keep you outdoors.
Many said that we were just obsessed when we started, that there had to be an easier way to smoke food. As time passed, the Bradley family created a lineup of Bradley electric smokers that has made it easier for the novice or even expert chef to get perfect results every time they use it. Grab yourself a Bradley smoker and take your cooking to an all-new level.
We plan all year for this. We hone our skills. We have confidence in the gear we choose. We pour over thousands of images and videos. When the time comes, will you be ready? Introducing the all-new 4K camera by Stealth Cam. Proven.
Protect it or lose it.
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 Protect it
or lose it.
Protect it or lose it.
Tired of forgetting to set a recording or missing the latest episode of your favorite outdoors show? Check out Outdoor Action today. Never miss a second of shows like Americana Outdoors, Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook, and Whitetail Diaries. All of this at the press of a button, without a subscription fee required. Start watching your favorite shows when you want to watch them by going to OutdoorAction.com or through the Outdoor Action channel on any Roku device.